Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notifications button so you can get the videos as soon as I put them out, which are typically around 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, I would not be talking about all women, even though it feels like it. And if it feels like I'm talking about you, you need to check yourself, because I'm only talking about bad women that do bad things to good guys, and I teach the good guys how to spot the bad women.
Nigga, what?
Next, guys, do not take anything in the videos personal if I'm giving you constructive criticism about men. I do not know you personally. Next, if you're looking for the music to the intro and you want the link to the second channel, both are below in the description. All right, guys, today we're going to be talking about something that most guys do not think about, that I think a lot of you guys need to start paying attention to, and that's going to be, why do women not like other women? It may seem like women are ganging together and men are ganging together to go against each other, and there's a big conflict in relationships now. But when it's all said and done and you breaking it down, it's just a whole bunch of lames.
Damn, you looking good today.
That wanted girls out of their league.
I'm sorry, but I think you've mistaken me for someone who would speak to someone like you.
That broke their heart, and now you gotta learn that the girl that broke your heart, you never been with her in the first place. On top of that, you have guys out here that's going towards women that they feel like is in their league, and these women are delusional into thinking that they could get somebody better. Why? Because of the internet. The internet has completely brainwashed men and women to a whole nother level. But what guys never stop and think about is the actual battle between woman and woman. And trust me, there is a battle between women and women that guys don't see because they're too blinded by how they have been hurt in a relationship with a woman. So today we're going to be breaking down why the battle between a woman and a woman creates women not to like other women. Let's get to it. First, women only get along when their self-esteem and their confidence is the same. Not every woman feels weak in modern society. So you have a lot of girls who are weak, they go play the victimized role, and then the stronger women, they go ahead and play a stronger role where they're trying to prove to a man that they don't need him, but the victim woman is trying to say, you took advantage of me when I needed you. That's what a victimized woman is pretty much trying to say. You took advantage of me when I needed you. The same way you guys are victims when you needed a woman into your life. She took advantage of you for being extra nice than what she is used to. All right, when it comes to women, that's how it is. All the confident girls will all roll together.
Okay, you should just know that we don't do this a lot, so this is like a really huge deal.
They're all stick together in their little groups to go against a man, but when they go outside those groups into other areas of women, all the women are not on the same page as them because they still have a competitive nature. All right, so understand, if the self-esteem and the confidence is not the same, they're not going to get along. The confidence has to be the same in the self-esteem. All right, next, the queen bee syndrome. Now you're saying to yourself, what is the queen bee syndrome? The queen bee syndrome is where you have women trying to convince men that they're different from other women. It's called the queen bee syndrome. That's where it's saying, I'm the best girl because I could do this. I'm the best girl because I could do that. You must be used to those other type of girls. So my goal is to outdo you as a man. When you got a woman out there with queen bee syndrome, where she feels like all the other girls is not as strong as her, all the other girls is not as powerful as her, that she's outgrown other girls, she starts to compete with men. It's called the queen bee syndrome.
I'm feeling sexy and I'm feeling like a goddess, and I want more.
So when you have a queen bee syndrome type of woman, when she get around other girls and they start complaining about men and being all dolled up, she the main ones that be like, girl, you better get out here and use these dudes. You better get out here and get your money. Girl, you better get out here and do that. Girl, you better get out here and do that. That's the queen bee syndrome, where they make women earn the privilege to hang around them.
We want to invite you to have lunch with us every day for the rest of the week.
That's what they mainly gonna tell these girls. You gotta get on your grind. You gotta do this. But when they get around men, they're gonna be the girls that are constantly trying to prove to a man that I can outdo you. I don't need you, but I'm gonna outdo you. But all the other girls that don't feel like they can outdo a man, they're not gonna understand her. That's when those girls are not gonna get along. If you stop and look at Nicki Minaj, is probably a good example of that, or even Cardi B. These are very popular girls, but they don't get along with each other. None of these singers get along with each other. All right, it's just business because of the queen bee syndrome. They want to be known as that chick that's not going through the same thing as all the other girls. They're the head alpha. Next, competition privilege is the main thing that divides women. What do I mean? Pretty girls versus ugly girls versus pretty girls, white girls versus black girls. You see that a lot.
Babies are ugly. They come out wrinkled.
All right, there's always a competitive nature for competition. Who's going to get the most attention for that moment? Who everybody want to be around? Who everybody want to be? Who everybody want to do? Why? Because if they don't have a way to victimize themselves or group together to go against a man, then they're going to be automatic enemies. Why? One, pretty girls are going to get treated totally different than ugly girls.
My plan for today is the same as always. Drink coffee and be sexy.
So a pretty girl is not going to say, oh, I'm not going to do this because my friends are ugly. They'll probably be like, those girls are nice girls. Those are my friends. That's what the pretty girls are always saying. Those are my friends. Don't talk about them like that. So there's going to always be a great divide between pretty girls and ugly girls. You're going to notice a lot more ugly girls are not going to really play the victimized role. They're going to play more of the feminist role, not needing a man, outdoing a man. And you're going to notice that majority of the pretty girls are going to always play the victimized role whenever it comes to life and situations. But the pretty girls are going to always get things done differently than the ugly girls. This is why the ugly girls got to wear the wigs. They got to get the plastic surgery. They got to pile the makeup on because they know that the competition is scarce compared to the girls who are naturally pretty. But you got to understand, if their confidence is not the same, there's going to be a fight at the strip club. There's going to be a fight at the bar. There's going to be girl fights everywhere you go. You ever been to a concert and the after clubs and they're trying to meet up with these rappers and stuff? They always fight. Why? Because of the pretty girl and ugly girl dynamic. They're going to always hate each other because of that. Next, the workplace always creates status. That's where women are making their big mistakes now, is the workplace.
Bob Vance bought this perfume for me in Metropolitan Orlando. It's made from real pine.
Who's Bob Vance?
You have a lot to learn about this town, sweetie.
You'll always notice that the woman that becomes a supervisor and she starts to become a boss, she starts to lose her female friends and she starts to gain a lot of beta male friends.
That's what she said.
Why? Because as a woman becomes more superior, she has a bigger ego than a man who's at the same status as her because she feels like she had to work 10 times as harder. So understand, as a woman's status increase, low status women will only matter to her when she's feeling low, whenever she's feeling insecure. This is why black people with money, especially ghetto niggas, always go back to the hood because that's the only place that they could go and feel like they're better than somebody, because when they get around other rich people don't accept them like that because they don't believe that their money is real. So a lot of people go back to the hood because they still feel insecure inside, and it feels better to show off in front of people that are doing worse than them. It's the same thing with a woman. As her status increases, she's not going to want to be around those girls until she feels like, I can't get a man, I'm ugly, I'm this. The next thing you know, she going back into the hood. She the good girl driving around in the Mercedes Benz that got her life together, but she's undateable. Right? That's going to be the game. She's going to be undateable. Understand this. Women do not like each other for one main reason only, and that's looks and power. A woman's power is only in her looks. The better looking she is naturally, the more girls who are ugly naturally are going to hate her. As women continue to age day to day and they continue to compete with other girls in their phone, there's always going to be a hate. Why? Because every girl feels like they can increase their status. One thing about a man, he gets to the point of his life where he recognizes what he really is, and he's able to accept himself, whether he's rich or whether he's poor. But one thing about a woman, she never accepts who she is. It is very rare. As long as there's another girl out here who's getting ahead than her, she'll always be comparing herself to it. This is Anthony Spade. Hopefully you guys are able to get the message behind the video and understand. Women disliking women, it goes further than what you see. The only way you're gonna see a woman compete is when you start to make yourself somebody. See, this is Anthony Spade. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista.